Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. So we are now 4 days, 12 hours away from a transfer deadline day. I have got a very, very special guest, Italian journalist Simone Dell'Uomo, director of Football Station, SportItalia pundit, Serie A expert and transfer expert. Simone, how are you? And thanks so much for joining me this morning.
I'm fine, Chris. Massive honor, massive privilege just to me. So thank you a lot for the chance and to talk about this busy days ahead of the last 4 days of the transfer window, of the deadline. So let's move on.
Busy days. That's what all of us Tottenham Hotspur fans want to hear at the moment. Busy days ahead for Spurs. Do you see many signings coming in before transfer deadline day?
I saw 2 or 3, but I'm a little bit worried, guys, because I'm actually seeing how much Paratici has learned in that case, the Tottenham way, the Daniel Levy's way. So to wait till the last hours, to wait till the last days, to bring in some new faces at the club. So let's see. I think that the priority at the moment for Fabio is to offload players that clearly Antonio doesn't want anymore at the club. And we are talking about the likes of Dele and Ndombele, the likes of Gio Lo Celso, and the likes of Dele Alli. So he's currently trying to offload this kind of players. We know around Ndombele there is a strong interest from Mauricio, from Poch, to bring in the players to Paris. Yesterday, someone was saying there is a concrete interest from Valencia. Valencia and Tottenham have already reached agreement because Valencia is ready to pay all the money to bring the players to Mestalla. But you know, the players feel himself he wants to be a starter for the very best sides, for the very best teams in the world, and he only want to come back to France and play for Poch in Paris. That's the biggest problem. On Dele, we have to wait the new Everton manager, because I think that Everton could be a really big possibility for him. That is the main duel is about Newcastle and Everton for him. Newcastle, of course, they are struggling. They are giving up in the last couple of hours their hopes to sign Jesse Lingard from Man United. Jesse Lingard can, why not, become a possibility for Spurs. But I don't think Man United will let him to join such a rival club in order to fight for the top 4 spot at the end of the season. So that's the problem when I see Jesse Lingard moving to Tottenham. So Dele Alli can become a true possibility in the next couple of hours for Newcastle. On Giovanni Lo Celso, there is a concrete interest from Sevilla. Sevilla are currently fighting to win La Liga. They are currently living to win La Liga against Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid. They are second on the table. They won a dream, and that's the main reason why they afford to bring in such a big player like Anthony Martial to Andalusia. So they are trying to build something important. They lost Eric Lamela for another injury. Unfortunately, Coco, the physical condition, you know very well, you know more than me. Lamela's conditions are famous in the world. So they're trying to bring in a player with similar characteristics of Coco, and Gio could be an answer, of course. For what we know in Italy, Fabio Paratici tried to arrange a swap deal with Diogo Carlos, but Sevilla, for the reason that I was explained to you, that they want to try to win the title, to fight once for a lifetime to win the title, they want to keep their best players at the club. So the main priority in these hours for Fabio Paratici has to be to offload clearly the players that Antonio Conte does not want to see anymore at Hotspur Way. We know Dele and Ndombele is not playing anymore with the team. He's training alone, so he's ready to join PSG. It all depends on whether or not Daniel Levy will find an agreement on the salary, on the percentage of the salary with Leonardo, that is currently still the sporting director in Paris.
Simone, I'd just like to come on to players in a second, possible signings for Spurs and possible departures. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about Fabio Paratici first. When he left Juventus and came to Tottenham, you as an Italian journalist, were you surprised by this move for him?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that the Fabio Paratici's era in Turin was finished. He did an amazing job under Beppe Marotta, that was the CEO, for years. Last couple of years for Paratici were so complicated. Wrong signings, the likes of Rabiot, the likes of Aaron Ramsey, that Juventus are currently trying to offload to the Premier League. Around Ramsey, there is an interest from Burnley, from Palace. So we are checking those kind of situations. So the relationship between Fabio Paratici and Juventus was finished. They did amazingly together, but that's nature, that's life. We know in Tottenham there was, for me, the best love story in modern football, the one from between Spurs and Mauricio Pochettino. But at the end of the day, after Madrid, after 5.5 amazing years, things can happen, and they separate their ways, the streets. So, amazing project in Tottenham. They want to build again. They want to rebuild foundations. They're trying to do something with Nuno, but Nuno clearly wasn't the right man for the job at the start of the season. And then the big appointment, the one of Antonio Conte, that shows ambition. So, first of all, they need to try once again to rebuild foundations. And when I say foundations, I'm thinking not just about players, new faces, players bringing in, but a certain way to work, a certain way to suffer in training, to express themselves at the very best, the very highest level in the pitch in the Premier League. Because, the modern Premier League is all about pace, rhythm. It's all about sprint. So that's what it's all about. And Tottenham need to, and they are already started a new process with Antonio. The biggest question should be, is Antonio the right manager to wait for, to reduce the gap with the big three? Because, of course, at the moment, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City are far ahead of Spurs. The dream could be face a struggling Man United and try to finish fourth. Because, of course, for Daniel Levy, it's massive to finish into the top four. Because, of course, when you reach the group stage of the UEFA Champions League, provide the club about £70 million. And that could change the perception once again of Spurs in the world, in Europe. If you finish top four, you have more money to spend in June, in July, whenever you want, in the summer. And of course, you can attract players with a different point of view. If you finish into the Europa League, is a speech, is a situation. If you finish into the Champions League, that's gonna be another prospect for everyone at the club.
Simone, what did you make of Fabio Paratici's first transfer window at Spurs in the summer, when of course he was buying players for Nuno Espirito Santo?
Of course. We need time. We need time also in Italy to understand who really is and the quality he really has, Fabio Paratici. Of course, he's a very gifted and talented sporting director. He did amazingly well, but I think that's my perception, Chris. I think that he needs a strong man, a strong figure behind him. So when in Juventus, behind him, there was Marotta, the CEO, the current CEO of Inter de Milan, he did amazingly well. When he was left alone, he did some mistakes. Last summer, he was completely alone. Maybe so much money for the likes of Brian Gill, £25 million plus Eric Lamela, maybe £55 million for Cristian Romero. That is a great potential, great prospect, but Premier League is another league. It's the best league in the world. You have to be so aware of the fact that playing in the Premier League deserves time. The likes of Lo Celso, the likes of Ndombele, the likes of Reguilon. We are talking about players that, as you saw, struggled a lot to adapt to that style of football. So maybe I would have gone, if I was Fabio Paratici, if I were Fabio Paratici, for profile of players that already got to know the best league in the world, just like, for example, Adama, that they are trying to bring in. So nowadays, Fabio has it's bad to have a strong figure behind him because there is Antonio. They are close friends. They know each other very well. Fabio knows the players Antonio wants. They are friends. So I suppose them are always keep on touch. They are on the phone. Because Fabio Paratici is here in Milan. So let's see what can happen in the next couple of days.
Did you just say Fabio is in Milan at the moment?
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't see him in Milan. I heard some friends, some colleagues that are suggesting me that Fabio is in Milan because, Chris, there is a big difference between the last days of a transfer window in England and the last days of a transfer window in Italy. In Italy, it's all about in one hotel in Milan. There are rooms. There are situations like this. We, as media, we came there. We came there. We try to got to know some news. So in England, it's all about the training grounds. You know, you see faces, fans all around the training grounds on the deadline day. On the deadline day in Italy, the situation is a little bit different because we all go to this kind of hotel where everything can happen.
Simone, just wanted to ask, in Italy, how do a lot of fans of Serie A clubs feel about Tottenham? Do they see Tottenham as a big club? And were you surprised that Antonio Conte came to Spurs?
They were surprised because the last couple of years, guys, as Antonio Conte is keeping on saying, the level of Tottenham has dropped a lot, guys, a lot. I don't want to go deep in the analysis of the mistakes of sacking Mauricio to bring on Jose, that clearly passed his best, and things like that. But of course, Mauricio completely changed the perception of Tottenham around the world with that Champions League final, with that Champions League campaign that was so romantic, so wonderful. In the last couple of years, the situation changed, but the fact that Daniel Levy kept Harry Kane at the club last summer was key. So Antonio Conte to Tottenham, there is a perception here in Italy that Tottenham are building once again something strong for the future. So we are not talking about, when you talk about Spurs in Italy, we're not talking about still the likes of this side of Man City, Liverpool, things like that, stuff like that, club like that. But of course, the perception is that we are talking about a club with huge potential, with big potential. You see, also in this video, they one of the best stadiums in the world behind us, Chris. So we are talking about a training ground that is second to none. One of the best stadiums in the world. So, of course, in terms of the sports side, I know Daniel Levy has a lot of critics outside that environment, at Osprey Way or things like that. But in terms of structures, I think that we are talking about Anik and Daniel did amazingly well. Whatever happens, we are talking about, in terms of structures, a top club. And that's what I think that provide the way to bring in such a top manager like Antonio, because Antonio, guys, is regarded as one of the arguably 4-6 managers in the world, of course, alongside the likes of Guardiola, alongside Jurgen Klopp, alongside, of course, Thomas Tuchel, that is doing amazingly well in the last couple of years, both with PSG and Chelsea. And of course, in this game, I'm going to bring in your haircut brother, Mauricio Pochettino, and Cholo Simeone, of course, because they are top manager as well.
Simone, of course, we all know what a great manager we have at Tottenham Hotspur in Antonio Conte. What have you made of Antonio Conte's time at Spurs so far? And we all know that, with a little bit of help, we would have a real chance of the top four. Of course, we will come on to players in a moment, but he has improved players at Spurs so far as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed because I think that Nuno paid for everyone. We are talking about a Tottenham that has dropped a lot, just like Antonio's keep on saying the levels. we are not talking about Walker and Rose, Tobel Verguero, Jan Vertonghen, Moussa Dembele, Christian Eriksen, that amazing team that can try to win Champions League or Premier League. We are talking about Davis, Eric Dyer, Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, Skippy, that has a lot of potential, but still a young player, Harry Winks, Emerson Royal, Sergio Reguilon. We are talking about a team that has got huge options as strikers, because of course, if you think about Lucas Moura, Son, Steven Bergwijn, and Harry Kane, we are talking about a top attack. We are talking about what is for me still one of the greatest goalkeepers in the world, of course, Hugo. But in terms of midfielders, in terms of defensive lineup, there is a lot to do. So I was really impressed. Because he won a lot of points. That was a pity to drop 2 points in Southampton, but of course, what happened in Watford and then what happened in Leicester win back those kind of points. Man United are currently struggling between not just for Ole, but also with Ranić. They are struggling. So Tottenham, maybe in terms of the squad, is still not strong as Man United, but Tottenham has got a huge manager of Antonio that is known in the world, that whenever happened, when he came in, he always elevate the levels of the players and drive them to afford something great, and they are trying to finish fourth. Tottenham has got, if I'm not going wrong, 3 games in hand. So anything can absolutely happen. So I was very impressed, because of course the results are there, big results. Apart from the 3 games against Chelsea, it can happen to lose to Chelsea, mainly in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. But of course, in terms of the Antonio Conte's direction in the league has been so far absolutely brilliant.
Now, Simone, of course, you're an Italian journalist, Serie A expert. Now, I wanted to bring you on this morning to talk mainly about the Fiorentina midfielder, Sofran Amrabat, because, of course, so many fans in England don't know much about this player. Can you tell us all about him, what we can expect from him if this deal does get done? Because it's being widely reported that Tottenham Hotspur want to loan this player with an option to buy for £13.4 million. He's only had 1 Serie A start so far this season for Fiorentina, with 10 other appearances from the bench. What can you tell us about this player?
It's an opportunity. It's a strange opportunity. Of course, guys, you don't know so much about him because he's not a top player. It's not a big name. It's not a sexy name, if you want to. That's some kind of conditions. But it's an opportunity. He's a very interesting player. He didn't play. He hasn't been playing for Fiorentina this season because he's an oldie midfielder. He's a pure number 8. He can play in 3-4-2-1 is another option, is another opportunity for Antonio that once we clearly understood in this kind of situation that Antonio wants these kind of players with the likes of Hojbjerg, Skip or Winksy. So he is not the player that changed Tottenham, but can be an option. Is a loan deal. I think he is clearly a plan B because Paratici and Conte were dreaming of Frank C. But according to SportItalia, Frank C is heading to Barcelona as a free agent in June. So it's clearly a plan B. It's an opportunity, guys. It's strange because a player that is not playing for Fiorentina can join just a big side like Tottenham. But it's an opportunity. And remember, guys, football is about chemistry. It's all about chemistry. And I think that his characteristics fits absolutely 100% what Antonio is asking for his midfielder. So 2 years ago, he was a revelation for Hellas Verona. He was a revelation, top player, but young top player. But he moved to Fiorentina. Big problems in Fiorentina. Many manager changing on the bench. And this season, Vincenzo Italiano, that is a young Italian and angry and passionate manager that is doing a great job in his position. He clearly wanted a player with other characteristics, more a playmaker, just like Lucas Torreira, the former Arsenal and Atletico Madrid player. So that's the biggest reason why Sofyan Amrabat in a midfield three, he didn't play. He hasn't been playing this season. So let's look. It's an opportunity. For me, it's just a plan B. It's a loan deal. It can come as a cheaper option. £1 million for just a loan deal with an option to buy in the summer. Let's see. I think that it's going to be the fourth behind the wings, behind Hojbjerg, behind Skippy. We are not, I repeat, guys, a player that can change the dimension of Tottenham, the dimension of the midfielders for Spurs. But I think that it could be an interesting prospect for the way, I repeat, I keep on saying that, the way Antonio wants his midfielders to act in the pitch. That's what my perception nowadays.
Simone, it really worries me when you, as an Italian expert, says he's not a top player, and Tottenham Hotspur are going in for him, and you're now saying that he's not better than Harry Winks, Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, or Oliver Skipp.
Yeah. It's not better than them, guys. It's not better than them. He's a good player. He's a good player. He could be the fourth. He could be another option. It could be something to see, but we are not talking about a top player, guys. I need to be honest with you, Chris. I need to be honest with all the Spurs fans around the world that are now listening to us, looking at us. So he's a good player because, of course, we don't have to forget what I keep on saying from the start of our live session, that Premier League is the Premier League, not just about delivers that are fantastic, but all about rhythm, pace. And we are talking about a Moroccan player that will need to adapt to that kind of football. But let's see. He's a player that 2 years ago in Verona was fantastic. Wrong move to Fiorentina. And then maybe it's just a good player, guys. It's just a good player that needs to adapt. It could be a good possibility for Antonio to have another option, but we are not talking about a top player, guys. I need to be honest.
So, Simone, is he a player that will just sit in front of the back three and break up play, or is there any creativity to his game? Because we really do need a creative midfielder in there.
Of course, Chris. Let's to answer to this question, we need to look at the history of Antonio. Antonio played 3-5-2 both on Juventus and Inter. Antonio played 3-4-2-1 in Chelsea, and now he's playing, apart from the last game at Stamford Bridge, he's playing the same system that he used to play at Stamford Bridge, 3-4-2-1. When he played 3-5-2, he used to play a proper creative midfielder in front of the back three. So he used to play Pirlo at Juventus and Brozovic in Inter de Milan. When he played 3-4-2-1, he won two physical midfielders in that position, and you clearly see Hojbjerg and Skippy, this kind of players. You know, of course, at Chelsea the levels were higher. He had the likes of Nemanja Matic and N'Golo Kante, and if you remember, he struggled to play such a great technical player like Cesc Fabregas. Last season in Inter, he faced so many tactical problems to find a space, to find a spot for Christian Eriksen in the starting line too, as well. So Sofyan Amrabat is not a technical player. He's got a little bit of everything. He's a good player in terms of doing everything. He's a very polyvalent, versatile player. But of course, we are talking about a squad player. For me, Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg is far better than Amrabat. But let's see, because 2 years ago in Verona, he was a revelation. He was a revelation, guys. Fantastic. He seems to be a fantastic player. Then in Florence, he struggled a lot for tactical problems. Yes, definitely, because for me, he's not perfect for the three midfielders. He's perfect for two midfielders, and he clearly is perfect for the way Antonio Conte wants to play 3-4-2-1 with two physical number 8, and that's the main reason why he's trying to offload the likes of Ndombele, Gelo Celso, Dele Alli. So it's all about chemistry. It's all about tactical aspects. That's the way for the main reason I think that Tottenham have got this possibility. We are not talking about a top player, but of course, why not? He's a good option for the bench. He's a good option for the squad.
Simone, are you actually surprised by this possible move for Amrabat? Because I'll tell you what, a lot of Spurs fans are.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised because we are not talking about a profit that can afford to excite all the environment around Spurs. Just keep on your saying. But it's a good option. It's a good option in this moment. Let's see what happens, guys, in the next couple of hours. And now I suppose we are now talking about the likes of Luis Diaz, the likes of this kind of strongly linked player to Spurs.
Simone, every single journalist I've had on in the past week or so, and you've said it already, when I asked the question, how many players are we signing in this January transfer window, you all seem to say 2 or 3. Who are they going to be?
2 or 3, guys. 2 or 3. Maybe 2 plus Sophie Amrabat. But I'm not sure about Sophie Amrabat because it's all about rumors. There is a contact between the clubs. There is a possibility. Is the cheapest option in this moment because, of course, both Fabio and Antonio likes the player. They think that this player can be good for the squad. Let's see. I will go for Adama. Even if there is some contrasting rumors around him, because 2 days ago it seems so close Adama to join Tottenham, because Tottenham last week came to Wolves with an offer of around, as you know, about 50 million pounds. The request was 25 million pounds. We are all thinking at the moment that a solution between around 20 million pounds plus maybe some bonus could be an option to reach an agreement with Wolves. And you don't have to forget that Fabio Paratici is a close friend of George Mendes, and you know how much power this kind of agents in the modern football they have. And of course, as well, we don't have to forget that George Mendes has got a huge impact on the CDA, on the board of Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club. So I think he's an option. He's a strongly option. He's still a strong option, Adama Traore to Spurs, for this kind of reasons, because Fabio Paratici is a close friend of George Mendes. This is what we know in Italy. So I think that is an option. I will be both worried and surprised if Tottenham fail to bring in Adama, because I think that it could be a great answer, a great upgrade on both, of course, Matt Doherty and then Emerson Royal too. And I think that on that price, it could be absolutely a possibility, because I absolutely imagine Antonio working on Adama, trying to transform him as a right winger to right wing back, just like he used to do with Chelsea. If you remember, with the likes of Victor Moses, we are all, I think that we all agree that Adama Traore is a far better player than what Victor Moses was for Chelsea. So I think that it could be a fantastic deal for Tottenham, maybe underrated, because for me, 25 million pounds for Adama could be a fantastic bargain for Spurs.
So Simone, are you confident that this deal is going to be done with Adama Traore?
Yeah, when you talk about Daniel Levy and Fabio Paratici, you should not be so confident until the last hours of the deadline day. But of course, I'm confident, guys. I'm confident.
So you're confident on Amrabat and Traore. So that's 2 deals done, yeah?
Guys, for me, the reason is that Amrabat is a possibility. I think that Paratici is looking overseas, he's looking abroad, he's working on many options. And before seal the move for Amrabat, he will try to find something better than Amrabat. Amrabat is just a good player, guys. He's a squad player, 25 years old. Could be a revelation, but I don't think so. He can be a good squad player. Not so much.
This is what all of us Spurs fans are worried about, Simone, because, of course, as you well know, the league table, Antonio Conte coming in, we've got a top world-class manager, as you've said as well. He just needs, what I believe, he needs a little bit of help to try and get Tottenham in that Champions League place for next season. A player or two of real quality could take us there. Now, as we all know, Antonio Conte and Fabio Paratici are very used to the Italian league. Now, in your opinion, are there any players in Serie A that they are looking at the moment that could possibly join Spurs in this window or indeed the summer? Because we have been linked to so many players who are playing in Serie A. Dusan Vlahovic, of course, it now looks like he's going to Juventus. Kessie, as you said, lots of interest, including Barcelona. Paulo Dybala. Any other players that you could name that Fabio Paratici is perhaps looking at the moment?
Guys, Chris, to be honest, I would have gone if I were Paratici and Conte. I would have gone for Robin Gosens, but yesterday he just signed for Inter de Milan, because for me Robin Gosens was the perfect profile for Spurs. If you play 3-4-2-1 or if you want to play 3-5-2 and you need a proper cracking left wing back, Robin Gosens for me is the better left wing back in the world right now. And for £25 million, Paratici brought in Emerson Royal, Beppe Marotta brought in the likes of Robin Gosens from Atalanta yesterday. So we are talking about this kind of situation. Every player has his levels. I would have gone for that kind of player. Of course, we need to understand what kind of project we have got ahead, guys. What worries me is that if Daniel Levy and Paratici want just 22, 23 years old players, I don't think Antonio is the right manager for the job, because Antonio, guys, arrives in a club, stay there for 2, maximum 3 years, because he stayed just 3 years in Juventus, 2 years with the Italian national team, 2 years with Chelsea, 2 years with Inter de Milan. He's not a profile just like Poch, just like Mauricio Pochettino, that stay at the club 4, 5.5 years. So it was clear in the last couple of press conferences, Antonio, because Antonio kept on saying, we need years, we need time, we need many years to reduce the gap with the likes of Liverpool, City, and Chelsea. But of course, if you don't want to win, Antonio didn't come. So there is something that we don't know, that can happen maybe in the summer, maybe big. Because of course, if you bring in the likes of Gosens, the likes of Kessie, the likes of Adama Traore, the likes of Sven Botman as a left-footed centre back from Lille, we can talk about a strong Tottenham team that is ready to reduce the gap, that maybe can reduce instantly the gap towards the top team. If you want to invest in the likes of Brian Gill, the likes of Emerson Royal, young players with maybe good potential that never played one single game in the Premier League, guys, this is what happened. And this is what is currently worrying Antonio. Let's see what can happen in the last couple of hours, in the next couple of hours, in the next couple of days. We've got 4 exciting days ahead in the next couple of days. So let's see what happened. There is the international break, no Premier League, no Serie A. Paratici is in Milan, so everything can absolutely happen.
Simone, you used the word excited. Do you think that all of us Spurs fans are going to be excited in the next few days then?
Well, we have to know, Chris, if it's true how much Tottenham want Luis Diaz, not just for Luis Diaz, but if Daniel Levy and Fabio are really ready to splash the cash, £45 million, we can expect some big moves in the next couple of days. But of course, it's all about recruitment, because what's the plan of spending £45 million where you have Lucas, Son, and Steven Bergwijn, that is clearly struggling to get a first-team spot, because of course, what he did in Leicester was fantastic, but of course, the main players in that position as number 10 behind Darry, we are talking about clearly Lucas and Sonny, that they are starters for Spurs. So what's the plan of bringing in Luis Diaz from Porto, that never played one single game in the Premier League, in a position where you already are strong? Let's move on. Let's direct this kind of money in other positions on the pitch, because you have got problems as a right wing back, you've got problems of left wing back. You can improve a lot in the two midfielders, in the two number 8, and the answer surely cannot be Sophie Amrabat, not just to say the truth, but that's what it is. So I will spend this kind of money if Daniel is ready to splash the cash in other position of the pitch. So it got surprised me a lot, this interest on Luis Diaz from Porto, because it's not the priority for Tottenham at the moment, guys. It's not the priority. Adama Traore is more a priority if you compare the situations. Of course, the attacking option for Spurs are already so good. You need creativity, you need all the midfielders, you need the new fullbacks, maybe you need another center backs. We have to monitoring the situation about also the center backs, Chris, because there is a concrete interest from Brighton for Joe Rodon. I will go for Joe Rodon out of the club right now, because Tanganga has played well. He's actually playing well with Leicester. It was good against Chelsea too. So it was an option for AC Milan, but AC Milan right now, and I live so close to Milanello, that is the training ground for Milan. So I know many people inside them. I think that Maldini and Massara, that currently are the directors of AC Milan, are trying to let's move on other names. Milan are interested in Bailey from Man United, the center back of Schalke, Thiam. So we are talking about other options. I think that Tanganga can stay at the club when the transfer window will close on Monday.
Simone, what I'm a little bit confused about, and I hope you can understand or explain it, the fact that so many reports and so many journalists have come on this channel in the last week or so, and they've all said the same thing. We must offload players first before we bring players in. And then, of course, out of the blue yesterday, or the day before, the official bid for Luis Diaz. And then, of course, at the start of the season as well, we put in an official bid for Lautaro Martinez, which then didn't come off. Were you surprised by that bid for Luis Diaz? And is it realistic that this can actually happen?
Of course, if this offer is true, as many are saying, of course, the positive news is that Daniel Levy want to spend 45-50 million pounds for someone. But the problem, guys, is the recruitment, because you cannot afford to spend so much money in a player that play in a position where, as I keep on saying, you already are strong. Tottenham has got a lot of problems right now in other position. So let's see what can happen. What can happen? Anything can happen. I don't think Spurs need to offload players to refund, to try to win money to spend in other position, because Ndombele is a long deal. Lo Celso could be a long deal. Dele Alli, of course, could be another long deal. How many money can you recruit to sell players? Not a permanent deal, but a long deal. So I think that it's just about group. It's just about dimension of the squad. I think that Antonio is tired on some behaviors by Tanguy Ndombele. We all know the way he was escaping from the pitch against Morecambe. Is tired from Dele, and Lo Celso, guys, is clearly not good enough. So I keep on saying, in terms of the comparison with the other top teams in England, of course, Tottenham spent less in the last couple of years. But if you compare the amount of money Tottenham spent after Pochettino, so during Jose Mourinho, and trying to rebuild a team, Tottenham spent a lot more than, for example, top Italian sides, Inter, Milan, Juventus, this kind of clubs. But the biggest problem is that there was so waste of money. 65 million pounds for Ndombele, 65 million pounds for Lo Celso, when you can dare Today is to do, no? So let's dare Daniel Levy. Let's pay a little bit more, but let's try to bring in Bruno Fernandes. And that was the biggest mistake. So at the time, if you remember, in the first year of Mauricio Pochettino, alongside him, there was Paul Mitchell, that was the boss from Red Bull, from Salzburg, both and Leipzig, and didn't bring in Southampton players like Alderweireld, Sadio Mane. When he came to Tottenham, alongside Poch, they brought in Sonny for 30 million pounds, Alderweireld for 80 million pounds. So it's not just about how much Daniel Levy can spend or not. It's all about recruitment. It's all about spending in the right way for players that can realistically and right now improve the level of Tottenham right now. And it's difficult because, of course, we are in January and everyone is aware that the transfer window in January is all about opportunities. And Sophie Amrabat is clearly just an opportunity.
So are you confident that Fabio Paratici will bring in the right players for Spurs in the future, Simone, or not?
Behind Antonio, yeah. Behind Antonio, yes. If you got a strong man like Antonio behind him, I think that he can do great things, because he actually did great things for 7 years in Juventus. He did wrong in the last couple of years in Juventus, but of course it's natural, guys. It's natural. You cannot be top. Also, if you are a sport director for all your life. Of course, I think that, for example, Fabio Paratici is far better than Franco Baldini. I don't know if you remember what did Franco Baldini to Spurs, because if you think about the way he spent after Gareth Bale, the likes of Kirikas, Chadley, Etienne Capu, all wrong players, all wrong signings. So at Tottenham, you already had an experience with the Italian sporting director. They are good, but Fabio Paratici is far better than Franco Baldini.
Simone, let's talk about the possible departures at Spurs. You mentioned Tanguy Ndombele and Dele Alli. Lots of reports about Dele Alli. 5 clubs in the Premier League are interested: Burnley, Southampton, Everton, Newcastle and Brighton. And Tanguy Ndombele is in talks with PSG and Valencia about a possible loan. Do you think that we will see, if both of them or one of them leave in this January transfer window on loan, do you see them ever coming back to Spurs and putting that Tottenham Hotspur shirt on again? Or do you think that Spurs will actually put in the contract that there will be a buy option for them?
It's all about how much will be the buy option for the club that will take them on loan. Of course, Tanguy Ndombele needs to shine in Paris. Paris does not have, as you know, as we all know, any kind of economical problems. They can afford to bring in whatever players that they want. If Tanguy Ndombele, if this loan deal could be successful, they will take him on a permanent basis. Dele is something different. Dele struggled a lot in the last couple of years. On Dele, I've got an idea. When Tottenham lost Christian Eriksen, they provided 20, 30 assists to Dele. Dele dropped a lot. So let's move on and see what happens in the loan deal for Dele. There is Newcastle, there is Everton. Newcastle are trying to search on the market on this kind of players because, of course, they seem to have given up their hope to sign Jesse Lingard from Man United. And, of course, the plan B could be Dele Alli. Everton is interested, but at the moment, right now, we need to check. We need to know which kind of choices the Everton board will make on their new manager on the bench. So let's see what happens. In Southampton, there is a situation where there is a close friend of him, that is Kyle Walker-Peters. He's currently playing very well in Southampton. So maybe we can see a loan deal solution. For Gio, it's a little bit different, the situation about Lo Celso, because Lo Celso is clearly wanted from Sevilla. Tottenham need to understand, and Levy need to understand that he need to cut losses. At the moment, the solution for him too, for the Argentinian player, is a loan deal too. So we are talking about these kind of players, and the priority is to offload players that Antonio clearly don't want. If Antonio and of course everyone, I think so, will be on Tottenham bench next season, I don't think, to answer to your question, I don't think they can be back at the club next season. They can never.
another player, for a possible loan move in this window, Bryan Gil. Now, of course, in your country, Italy, an Italian outlet put out yesterday that he wants to quit Spurs. He replied to the tweet, with a laughter emoji and question marks. But there has been many rumours about a possible loan move to Valencia or Nice. Any truth in this? And do you see this happening? And also, are you surprised, particularly after he's only just signed in the summer?
It's a waste of we're talking about a waste of money. A player that have got huge potential, but for what it is, the priority at the moment for Spurs, Bryan Gil was not the right moment at the time. But it's not true. It's not true that he's failing himself to adapt to England. So I read the same reports. I don't agree, because if you think about when Tottenham scored in Leicester, Bryan Gil was one of the first guys to jump on Antonio, to jump on Stellini, to jump on Gollini. He's a close friend to Sergio Reguilon. They are loving their life, their live in London right now at the moment. You can see that. So it's not true. Maybe the situation is that he wants to improve his game. He wants to be a starter. So a loan deal for him can be an option. But I don't expect Tottenham to seal this kind of loan deals for everyone, because of course there is Lo Celso, there is Ndombele, there is Dele Alli. I think that Bryan can stay until the end of the season. The priority for Spurs is to get rid of players that clearly Antonio doesn't want to see anymore on the training pitch, and we are talking about Ndombele, Lo Celso, and Alli. And if you need to sell someone as centre backs, I think it could be Joe Rodon, because Joe Rodon, apart from the Morgan game, didn't play, didn't appear. Tanganga can stay. Joe Rodon has got an interest from Brighton. Graham Potter, the head coach of Brighton, is currently checking the physical situation of his centre backs, because Shane Duffy, Dunk had got some physical problems in the last couple of months. So Joe Rodon can be a possibility. Of course, stamping £20 million for a player of Spurs that is not playing at the moment, because Joe Rodon currently, guys, is playing just for Wales, not for Spurs. I think it's too much. I think that Brighton nowadays are unwilling to pay so much money for this kind of player.
Simone, another possibility of a player going out, either on loan or a permanent deal, Steven Bergwijn. Ajax put in an official bid. Tottenham Hotspur rejected it. Do you think if Ajax do come back with an improved offer, do you think Steven Bergwijn could move on, or did that Leicester game, those two mad goals right at the end, do you think it's changed it?
That Leicester game, Chris, to answer to this question, needed to change the perception of Steven Bergwijn around the club. Antonio wants to keep the player, because Antonio keep on saying in his last press conferences that he likes the player because the players provided to the team specific characteristics that neither Lucas or Sonny have got. So I think he will stay. I think that Daniel Levy wanted £25 million, and Ajax never managed to offer that kind of money before Steven Bergwijn scored that kind of amazingly double goals in Leicester. Now I don't think so. Ajax can come back, but I don't see Daniel Levy get rid of a player that Antonio wants to keep at the club at the moment right now.
Simone, coming back to possible incomings for Spurs, of course, Fabio Paratici knows Serie A very, very well. Are there any other players that he is looking at the moment in Serie A? Because, of course, I've spoken to so many journalists, and they say that he draws up a short list of 10, 12 players and then goes for one of them, chooses one of them out of the 10, 12 players. Are there any players that he's currently looking at that you know of?
Weston McKennie, because Fabio Paratici is a huge admirer of him. I didn't expect, to be honest, Juventus go in for Dusan Vlahovic right now in January, but anything can happen. I showed that kind of situation with the amazing Serbian striker that is now so close to join Juventus. So I expect some players that can leave Juventus midfielders right now, and we are talking about Rodrigo Betancourt, the Uruguayan player that is close to join Villa at the moment. Juventus need to refund to gain back some money after having paid 75 million pounds to Fiorentina to take Dusan Vlahovic. So Weston McKennie can be a possibility because Fabio Paratici, as you know, is a big admirer of the USA midfielder. He can play as a number 8. He has got huge potential on attacking the space. He reminds me the first Arturo Vidal, the first Dele Alli. He reminds me that kind of players attacking the space between the lines. So I think that can be a possibility more for June, but right now, in the next couple of days, we can expect absolutely everything because in Italy anything can change because no one expected Juventus to go in for Dusan right now. No one expected Inter de Milan to bring in such a great player like Robin Gosens right now. So Kessie can go right now. McKennie can go. Bentancur can join Aston Villa. Anything can absolutely happen, guys.
What's the situation with Pierluigi Gollini? Do you think he's going to go back to Atalanta in the summer?
In the summer, anything can happen because the choice is clear. Hugo Lloris will be is going to be once again the starter in goal for Spurs. It all depends on Gollini. Gollini is enjoying his life in London. He loves living in London. As you know, he's absolutely amazing in his social profile on Instagram. But of course, if you want to aim to try to conquer a spot in the Italian national team for Qatar 2022, maybe in the summer can need to be back in Italy and try to find a club that can provide him the chance to be a starter once again, because he was a starter for Atalanta. He joined Spurs. Nuno Espirito Santo wasn't convinced at all about the future of Hugo Lloris. So with Antonio, anything has changed once again. So I expect him to stay, to be honest, until the end of the season. So Gollini will stay at Tottenham in the next couple of months. But in the summer, if we want to be back in Italy, I don't think that Paratici and Conte will provide him any sort of obstacle and will give the green light to him to be back to Italy in the summer. But for the moment, right now, he's staying.
Of course, all of us Spurs fans want big signings. We want household names. We want the club to go out and spend a lot of money. Yes, it may be unrealistic, but what do you feel and think that is Antonio Conte's minimum requirement in this window?
At least Adama Traore, Chris. I think that they are trying to bring in a new midfielder and a new fullback. At least we are talking about the Tottenham side that will try to make these two deals. At least 2 deals, guys. 2 deals. But for Antonio, to work well with this group of players, it's important that Fabio will help him to get rid of someone that he doesn't want to see anymore at Hotspur Way. And we are talking about Ndombele, Lo Celso, and Ali. So selling this kind of player or loaning them is not important just to refund, because we are talking about just loan deals, as we were talking before. But mainly because Antonio wants to train players that are pure soldiers, that listen to instructions, that want to suffer, that want to work hard in training. And it's clear that Dele and Tanguy has not got this kind of mental characteristics for Antonio. So he will be happy. He will be happy if Fabio will manage to sell this kind of players.
So Simone, you feel that Antonio Conte would be happy with 2 signings, Adama Traore and Amrabat, if we got both of those 2 in? Do you see it being the real difference of Spurs finishing in the top 4 or not? Because I'm going to bring you back to what you said about Amrabat, saying he's not a great player, which really worries me.
Okay, Chris, but the January transfer window is famous because it's tough to find someone that right now can change the dimension of a Champions League purchase, of a Champions League top 4 battle that for me will go down to the wire. But of course, we cannot expect something that can change the dimension of Tottenham right now. Antonio Conte was so clear. So I don't think he will celebrating just like he won a title if Tottenham managed to bring in a player like Sofian Amrabat or Adama Traore. But trust me, if Tottenham can bring in Adama Traore, will be a massive boost in their Champions League campaign, of course. And Antonio knows that. Antonio knows that because Adama is underrated for me. Top player. Because Antonio can transform in a war machine as a right wing back. That's my opinion.
Simone, talking about Traore, of course, in the last couple of days, there has been lots of reports that he could possibly join Barcelona, and lots of comments are stating the same thing. Is there any truth in that? And, surely if he's given the choice of Barcelona or Spurs, what do you think he would choose?
Guys, it's a very bad question.
Simone, I need some good news from you. I need some positivity.
I think he can pick. He can choose Tottenham because Tottenham has got a huge project. Antonio Conte, guys, Barcelona has got a huge salary problem, economical problem right now. Everyone knows the situation around Laporta, that is the chairman of Barcelona. They've got huge problems, and in the Adama Traore position, they already risked a lot bringing in a player like Ferran Torres that play right winger just like Adama. So I don't think Adama and Barcelona are a possibility. They are trying for June, when maybe they hope to have solved some kind of economical situation for KC. And KC right now can choose. But the situation on KC, guys, is very strange because right now we are talking clearly about a player that will go without contract. His contract will expire in June on Frank KC. The situation right now, Chris, is that there is no dialogue at all between Massaro and Maldini and the agents. The agents want to wait for June because it will be the last big contract for Frank KC, and they want the player to earn the maximum money that every club can give him. So that's the question. Another names coming from Italy that can join Spurs, that can be a possibility at least to join Spurs. Andrea Belotti, the striker of Turin. Tottenham one day need to find a backup striker for a backup option for Harry, and Belotti can be a possibility for June. And Paulo Dybala as well. Everyone remember the way Tottenham trying to bring in Dybala 2 seasons ago in the summer of 2090. So let's check what happened. We are talking about options. We are talking about the project that Tottenham can offer to this kind of player, guys. But if I need to answer to your primordial question, Adama will pick Tottenham, will join Tottenham.
You know what, Simone? I'm probably one of the most positive Tottenham Hotspur fans. Always try to see the positives, right? But you can see why a number of fans feel very frustrated because, of course, we're linked, for so long with Dusan Vlahovic, and then, reports are stating that we're now after an 18-year-old striker, Mohamed Ali Cho, and then, of course, linked with Kessie, for ages, and now it looks like we're going to be signing Amrabat. So you can see the frustrations, can't you?
Yeah. It's frustrating. It's getting frustrated. And if you need to pass from Kessie to Amrabat, I can understand the frustration. But let's wait. The deadline day. Let's see what Fabio Paratici can do, because we are talking about if you think about Amrabat, if you think about Bryan Gil, we are talking about players that came out absolutely from nothing. So I expect other names coming out from nothing in the next couple of days. Of course, the striker of Angels, Ali Cho, cannot be a player as well. That can change the perception of Spurs in their Champions League top 4 pursuit.
Simone, last question for you. Do you expect a very busy summer? Because for me personally, I didn't expect a busy January. I'm not at all surprised that we haven't signed a player as yet. I think that we might get 1 or 2 over the line, and desperately hoping and fingers crossed that that is the case, and give Antonio Conte the tools in order to, you know, finish in that top 4 spot. You know, give him, you know, what he needs. But I personally am expecting a very, very busy summer at Spurs. Are you? And how many players do you think that Conte will want to bring in?
I expect a very, very busy, important summer. Of course, guys, you know, we are getting frustrated because from Kessie to Amrabat not signing yet in January. But of course, June is another story. Last summer, Tottenham spent a lot. I expect Daniel Levy and Fabio to be back to spend a lot of money. Because, of course, guys, if Antonio is not a manager that come to a club without knowing exactly what is going to happen in the next couple of months. So I expect Tottenham being very, very busy at the summer. So be patient. Let's wait if something interesting can happen also in this kind of last couple of days as well. And let's see what happens, guys.
So to summarise, Simone, you think we're going to get 2 or 3 players in the next few days? You think it's going to be a very busy summer? And Amrabat is not a great player.
I'm sure summer will be extremely busy, but let's see what happens in the next couple of January. But of course, guys, January is all about opportunities. It's all about opportunities, guys. You know, you remember the Leandro Damião's saga? Every year, always talking about the center forward coming from Brazil to join Spurs. And then in January, Daniel Levy never managed to bring in this player. So January for Spurs, if you think about modern history, if you think about the tradition, it's always a very frustrating transfer window for everyone at the club.
Now, Simone, I'm going to try and finish this on a real positive, right? Do you think that Fabio Paratici has a few, you know, magic cards up his sleeve, and you know, could he pull out some real quality signings?
Yeah. So absolutely yes. So in this January transfer window, I'm a little bit worried, just like you. For the summer, I'm not worried at all, because I think that in the summer Tottenham will create big investments. But of course, in January, even if, and I keep on saying that, I'm not expecting so much, but Fabio Paratici has got, just like you said, some magic cards inside him. He's got some huge relationship with big agents. So let's see what happens. Anything can happen, guys.
Simone, I can't thank you enough for your time this morning. Really appreciate your input. Please tell everyone where they can find you on social media and your wonderful work. Thank you.
Footballstation.it, and if you wish to follow me on my social account, Simone Dell'Uomo 21. So that's my profile, and I want to thank you, Chris, because it's been a privilege, and you are absolutely a point of reference for the ones that lives abroad like me, that want to keep on touch on every sports news around the world. So thank you for the job, thank you for what you're doing, and massive honor and privilege to be here with you, alongside you today. So massive honor. Thank you.
Simone, can't thank you enough. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate your support yet again. Let's hope that Tottenham can get some deals over the line, because what is there now? 4.5 days left. So it's still time to get the business done. Let's hope that Tottenham deliver and help Antonio Conte to achieve that top 4 spot. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.